everybody. This is my weekly outlook for the third week of December. So I'm going to take you through everything I'm going to be looking at the beginning of the week, and then obviously what you can possibly expect later on in the week as well, and how you can frame your trade ideas around that. So now typically we would expect a slumber week on the third, fourth weeks of December, obviously coming into the Christmas period. But as you can see, this week we've actually got quite a lot of high impact news. So on Tuesday, we've got housing starts, building permits, which I'm pretty sure is only medium impact news, but it's showing as high impact news here on TradingView. Got retail sales, we have NFP, unemployment rate. On Wednesday, we've got, again, more retail sales. Is that Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday, more retail sales. And CPI on Thursday there. So I think this week we can actually still see quite a nice amount of volume. So I'm going to see how the beginning of the week goes. If there is still nice volume in the market, then obviously I'm going to trade this week. If I see prices just consolidating and things aren't going too great, then I will that's it. I'll be done for the year. But yeah, if volume is nice, then I will continue looking to trade this week. So with that being said, let's jump to the weekly time frame and get an understanding of what's going on. So I'm going to start off on DXY, and then obviously I'll go through EU after that as well. So we're coming off the back of another bearish week. Now, this shows that there may be obviously a bit of a pullback, or we can just literally continue to follow that momentum. If we take a look at the daily time frame, obviously we're coming off of this sweep here, and this sweep, if it is confirmed, obviously we'll confirm that on the 4-hour time frame. If it is confirmed, then that will signal a weak low here, and then we can expect them impulsive moves straight down to this weak low here, right? So we're looking to see if this is a confirmed weak low. If it is, then obviously we're going to trade towards that. If it's not, then we're going to look at possibly their mid-time frame reversal points, where we can then come and target these highs again to the left. So we take a look at the daily time frame here. What do we see? Obviously, there's that sweep that occurred on the weekly time frame. Now, our daily internal structure is still bullish. So this low here is the low that would need to go to confirm weak lows here to the left. Now, this week, obviously, we failed to come and trade through here. Obviously, anything can still happen next week, so we're going to keep an eye on that. If we take a look at EU as well, actually, real quick, you're going to see that that same high on EU, we didn't break it on the daily, but on the 4-hour, we did break it. Okay, so look, there we are. There's that break on the 4-hour time frame, which is obviously still part of a higher time frame analysis. So you could say EU has confirmed weak highs and our DXY is lagging a little bit, or there could just be a possible SMT forming, which again you would need to confirm that on the 4-hour time frame or 1-hour time frame. So we're kind of at like a pretty crucial point in the market with us being here. So depending on what happens next is obviously going to determine our bias for probably the next couple of months. If this does get confirmed as an SMT and lower time frames or mid time frames shift back bullish, that's going to signal weak highs. If we continue to the downside and this doesn't get confirmed as an SMT, that signals weak lows, and then we look to target the weak lows. So realistically, we want to see what is actually going to occur around this area here. So if we look at the 4-hour, obviously there's that low again. That's that low that needs to be broken, right? To confirm the weak lows. If it stays intact, then obviously we have weak highs and a confirmed SMT. So on the 1-hour, if this high here is broken, our medium time frame shifts bullish, then this would then confirm. So if we saw something like that, that would confirm that this is a protected low and that the SMT has then been confirmed, and we have this weak high over to the left, right? If we just see a pullback into the range, lower time frame turning point, like something like that, and then we can look to follow that to the low. And obviously, if we then close through this low here, that then signals that the SMT has failed, and we have seen a 4-hour closure, and then that signals weak lows down here to the left. So basically, this leg here, yeah, like I keep saying, is a pretty crucial leg as to what is going to actually happen next. So if we look at the 5-minute, what we can see is we're actually in, or we was in this pullback phase here of this 5 minute leg. So that was the high, that's the low, or that's the low, and that was the break there. Right, so we see the pullback, we see our lower time frame turning point within here, and we're now getting that pro trend move to the week low. So Monday, I would basically expect price to literally continue something like that to the downside, coming to take out this low. Or what we could see as well is we see actually 1 minute start to make its way down like this. We sweep, get some failed structure within here, shift back bullish, signals a weak high here. And that would be the first sign of a possible reversal, and that this SMT is then actually holding. So if we then see that SMT is starting to hold, we know we have a weak high here, and we can then look for longs to target that weak high, right? But understand that your overall trend, if that does occur, is still going to be bearish. So we wouldn't obviously continue looking too aggressively for longs once that high gets taken out. So that's a couple of possibilities that may happen here on the lower time frame. Is we're either going to continue looking for shorts if structure remains bearish down to this week low, or if it shifts bullish, then we can look for longs to that week high. If this high here is broken, that signals the start of the medium time frame pullback, and then we can follow 5 minute structure in the pullback of the medium time frame leg, and then again we would then be looking, are we going to take out this high, or are we going to respect that high, continue back to the downside, and likely close through this area here again, signaling the failure of that SMT. Right, so that's DXY. Now do the same for EU. You're going to see is, here's that SMT on EU, right? Has the daily or the 4 hour confirmed that SMT? Technically yes, but DXY is lagging, so we don't have DXY confirmation of that yet either. So you want to wait to see DXY confirmation on that, if that is going to be a valid break or not. So we drop to the 1 hour. What do we see? Again, there's that medium time frame break. Okay, if we come down, take out these lows like so, that likely confirms that we still have weak lows, and that was just a 4 hour sweep. If not, and we just see the pullback, low time frame turning point, then we know we have weak highs, and we can obviously come and look to target them areas, knowing that SMT is likely invalid then. Obviously, that there being the SMT, because that's the high. So yeah, that's obviously a medium time frame standpoint. So again, this leg here, basically what happens with this leg is going to determine that next draw for us, whether it's going to be this high, oh sorry, not that high, whether it's going to be this high or this low, and this low here. So yeah, that's pretty much medium time frame standpoint. Again, lower time frame here, you see obviously we are still bullish. This was our last break here. We're expecting that pullback into the medium time frame leg, and then obviously at the moment you can see structure here. We're in that pullback of that 5 minute leg there. We've had that turning point, and now we can look to follow that up to this week high. If, like I say, or for the same thing as DXY, if we continue up and then we all of a sudden we see failed structure like that, then we have a weak low. We target that weak low for temporary shorts. If not, then we literally just continue following these structure breaks, something like that, all the way to the upside until that high here is taken out. As simple as that, really. So yeah, just another quick recap of that then. So basically, we want to see what happens with this leg here. If we're going to just see a pullback and then continuation higher, that confirms the weekly SMT, especially if DXY then comes and closes through this 4 hour low, right? That would confirm that SMT if DXY does that. If not, then we can expect this if basically 1 hour here switches bullish at this high, that would confirm this SMT, and then that would signal a weak high. If the SMT isn't confirmed and we come and break this low, that signals a weak low to the left, which we can then target obviously on a longer term basis. So yeah, that's pretty much my weekly outlook here. So we're looking to see what's going to happen obviously with that mid time frame leg, you can use our lower time frame turning points and structure within there to obviously determine where price is going to likely go next. So yeah, that is that one wrapped up. And obviously don't forget to like, subscribe. I post my weekly outlooks every Sunday at 4:30. So if you want your weekly outlook done for you every single week, then obviously you know where to come back to.